Do you like good music? We're going to talk to somebody who gives you good music on Breaking Into next.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Lives. Breaking Into.
There we go. It's a nice backbeat.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, I'm like hanging out. I could be inside the house getting ready to have some dinner. Could be out in the backyard, my garden.
Yeah.
But I played this, I was like, this is what it sounds like to me. It's like, okay. I'm like, okay, I'm chilling, I'm hanging out.
It's a good rollout song for me. Like I wouldn't drive.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
totally.
and contemplate. I want to drive and contemplate.
Hello, you guys. Welcome to another edition of Breaking Into here on Black Hollywood Live. I am your host, James Lott Jr. Of course, this is my show. I'm here. Wait, talk about things. As always, I like to bring you guests that are diverse and that bring good cheer to the universe. And this guy, he's an all-around good guy. I mean, he just really is.
Thank you.
Talented musician who's been around for a long time, but looks super young.
Ha ha.
You know how we do. You know how we do.
God is good. That's all I can say.
Okay,
And my ancestors were good to me.
Okay, you can say that too.
Good to me.
He was featured on the show. We're going to show a clip of that. It was not too long ago as part of R&B supergroup Loose Ends,
Yes,
of course.
yes.
But he has his own music, and he works with all kinds of people. And he has a new single out called All I Ever Wanted. It's out now. You go on iTunes.
Right now.
You just heard a piece of that right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, young and old, Robert G.
Hey,
See
what's up, man?
Everybody down, everybody down.
Good to be here.
He'll be here for a while.
Thank you, man. Thank
Hi,
you.
how are you?
I'm very good.
Good.
Very
No,
good.
you are. Seriously, you are like just a really nice guy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And that's
I
something in
appreciate
this industry, and I want to ask you this too, a question for you, just throw it out there.
Okay.
It's like this industry can be very unfeeling, uncaring, harsh, like you can keep going on and on and on. To find people who are nice, we're out there, but to find someone can be a little rare sometimes, can't it?
It can, but I just tend to remember that everybody's human.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't excuse that. I give you grace for that
Mm-hmm.
because we're all human, you know, and you can catch me on a day when I'm not quite as nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I said to you when I came in, I was joking, but when you get off of a plane and then you have to go do radio and you've been up for 24 hours, you might be a little grumpy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We learn to put that smile on, but I try never to be rude. Like rudeness is unexcusable. Like I don't excuse rudeness.
Okay.
But I do give you grace for humanity because everybody is human.
Yeah.
Everybody is human.
Now, with you, because you've been in this business for a while now, is it harder to do those 24 hours being up, flying from here? Because you do travel a lot for work and stuff. I mean, is it getting a little harder? Is it a little easier? I mean, how do you navigate that these days?
You know what? It actually is. It gets easier from the standpoint of you build up endurance.
Okay.
So as an artist, the more you do it, the more endurance you build up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But this is a human being here.
Yeah.
This is a body. So if I'm not feeding myself, if on the road it's hard to eat and eat things that are nutritious, that are going to give you stamina, that is going to keep you going. So it's hard to do that all the time. But you do build up stamina. So you gotta, the more you do it, the better you become. So if you're just doing it sporadically and you're not used to long days and long nights, it starts showing up in your show.
Yeah, I'm sure it does that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Well, I feel like when you're on stage, you can't hide.
That's right.
You can't.
That's right.
Because you have to be present first of all.
That's right.
And you're playing.
That's right.
You're singing.
Right.
I mean, you can't really hide. I guess it all shows up on stage, doesn't it? If you have an off night off stage, it probably happens on stage.
That's right. And that's why I say humanity. That's why I say that we have to be graceful with one another. And because I've had those human experiences, where you get a bad call just before going on stage, where you find out that a loved one has passed.
Oh my God.
You find out that, I know one New Year's Eve I was going to stage and I called home, which is Philly, which shout out to Philly. I was going to stage several years ago and I called home to say Happy New Year to my mom. And she had a respiratory attack and there were ambulances there and
oh my God,
all this stuff, and I was walking to stage.
Oh my God.
You see, so we're just people and stuff happens, and that affected me.
I'm sure.
That affected me. It took me a minute to come out of that because when you're being paid, you got to come around.
Okay. Well,
when you're getting a check, you got to come around.
Yes, you do. Very true. Yes, but I like that the humanity of that because we all have bad days. We all have bad moments.
That's right.
But I just think in general you're a nice person. I think
Thank you.
this is something that, again,
Thank you.
like, people should be nice. I'm saying this every time on the show. People should be nice. Nice should be the norm.
It
I
should
always
be.
say that. It should be
It
the
should be.
norm. Now, I like you don't excuse rudeness, because rudeness is something different.
Nope, I don't.
Because people think they can be rude and play it off as, well,
And blame it on,
Yes.
my long night.
Right.
Blame it on whatever. I definitely can be grumpy.
Yeah.
Short. I could be that, because let me tell you, again, we're just people.
Yeah.
We're not robots, we're people. So if I've had a long night, I have not had enough to eat, or if I'm just not feeling well,
Yeah.
I can be that. But I just wouldn't go off on you just on the strength. You feel me?
Yeah.
I would be a gentleman and be like, you know what, now's not the time, or just, let's cut this short.
When you're on the road and you get out of a show and it's 2 a.m.
Yes.
And you're in Cleveland, Ohio. So that's my peeps in Cleveland.
Hey.
And you're like, I'm hungry. It's hard to find stuff sometimes in certain parts of the country at 2 a.m.
Heck yeah.
Besides fast food or something like biscuits and gravy, whatever. It's hard to find that, isn't it?
It is. And then for us road dogs, we always have like care packages. Like
you do?
in the
Okay.
room. Like during the day, what you will do is you'll grab like trail mix. If you're in a lovely accommodations, then you have preface that
Yes.
quotations around lovely, which most of the time I've been blessed to be
Okay,
in. So I have like a refrigerator,
Oh,
at
okay,
least a
good.
refrigerator and microwave. So
Yeah.
then you can grab stuff during the day.
That's true.
So I'm always having like trail mix,
Okay.
things that I can munch on after the show. You know what I mean? If they don't provide food for us, which sometimes they do, but it's barbecue at like 2 in the morning.
I know,
You know what I'm saying?
which is good, though.
Which it
but-
tastes best at 2 in the morning. What is that?
Yeah, I know. Don't trust me.
Barbecue
I know.
tastes best. Everything salty, tastes best at 2 in the morning. So yeah, they'll have something for us, but a lot of times it's just not the most nutritious. So what
Yeah.
I do, and most people that are used to doing this, we grab stuff during the day,
Okay.
and then we refrigerate it, and
Yeah.
then stuff that you can microwave some soup. Things that we
Yeah.
can so that you can just be held over until
Yeah.
breakfast in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we trying to maintain these bodies. People like we get on stage and people are just unforgiving. Like the stage is unforgiving. If
Yes.
whatever you have or do not have, the stage amplifies that. So if you rocking a little more than usual, the stage is like, look. They're rocking more than usual.
That's that can't hiding thing. yes.
Exactly. Or if if you're not, or if you're smaller than usual.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The stage that amplifies it. So we're trying to maintain. We're just folks trying to maintain and bring it to our fans and our public. Like, we appreciate you spending your money.
Yeah.
Coming to a concert. Listen, when the recession was going on, people were still going to concerts.
They were, I know.
And when you take your hard-earned money and you decide that you're going to come see me, you're going to come see Loose Ends featuring Jane Eugene, you're going to come and see all these acts, you spent your hard-earned money. We appreciate it. So we could at least show up looking like something.
Okay.
And we try to do that. We
Yeah.
honestly try to do that.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. No, yeah, we do. I say to some people, we do this for you guys.
Yeah.
And, we're doing it for
Yeah.
ourselves too, but we're doing it for you also. And we got to be fully present and show up and be there and give you a good show. But like I said, the music that you do is so nice. And I said this in the last show. It's just very R&B. I mean, some jazzy stuff and stuff, but it's like, I missed regular just R&B. And we talk about stuff. I mean, people like Luther Vandross.
Oh,
and,
man.
I mean, people like that. And people like Freddie Jackson. And, Gregory Abbott. And I mean, folks that just like, and Loose Ends, but like, people that just do like regular R&B songs. It can be up-tempo, mid-tempo, almost said low-tempo.
Ballads.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
going that direction.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of music I listened to. One of your albums you gave me, that it's literally, that's what it is. It's just like, it reminds me of good 80s and 90s R&B.
Thank you. Yeah, my debut, titled All My Love, was my first, my first offering into the independent soul scene.
Yeah.
Back in 2008.
Yep, that's the album you gave me. That's good.
And thank you. And so when I did that, people let me know we are looking for this kind of music, and it was well received. It was well reviewed nationally and internationally, and it really did well in the international market.
Yeah.
And so that really was my signal that I was on the right track. And so even today, every time somebody discovers it, it's like new life.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because I didn't do music of the hour. Like I didn't do fad music. You know what I mean? Like I just don't know how. You know what I mean? Because I'm a kid that grew up under Luther Vandross and Teddy Pendergrass and Peebo Bryson and Jeffrey Osborne and Al
Jeffrey
Jarreau.
Osborne, oh my God,
you understand what I'm saying? Earth, Wind and Fire, Heat Wave, The Stylistics, Minnie Riperton, you know, Chaka Khan, Vesta Williams. You know what I mean? Anita Baker, Regina Bell. I could go on and on and
You're
on.
making my engineer happy right now because she likes all that stuff too.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, when you're a kid growing up under that and the airwaves was populated with every possible type of art.
Yeah.
There was no... You didn't have 25,000 trap songs.
No.
You just didn't have it.
No.
You had a trap song. You did have one or two.
Sure.
But that was in the mix of a whole bunch of just amazing music.
Yeah.
And so as a kid, that's what I got.
And so I listen to all the music still.
Yeah, man.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I
No,
listen to it.
where are we going to go?
I was listening to Jeffrey Osborne
Where
the
are
other
we
day.
going
It's
to
kind of
go?
funny you just said that. I was listening to him the other day. I'm like, just like, I listened to Luther the other day too. I mean, just kind of, it's music that it feels good for your soul.
Yep.
I mean, that's why I call it soul music, obviously, but it feels good for you. It feels like you're being fed something.
Absolutely. And where you going to go? Where else are you going to go for that? But the era when that was popular.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where we got to go for it. I listen to them consistently.
Yeah.
Some of the young school, like my contemporaries that I listen to, I listen to like Joe. I love Joe. Joe is one of my favorites. Like, you know what I mean? He's a tremendous live performer, which, you know, which for me, at the end of the day, you can have a great song, but I need you to really bring it live. You know what I'm saying? And Joe is one of those people. I definitely check for Maxwell. Back in the day, Brian McKnight.
Oh yeah, D'Angelo.
You know, like these are my contemporaries.
I like Neo. Neo's pretty good.
Yeah, Neo. No, but Neo's, you know, he's the new school.
Yeah.
And he's a great writer. And I definitely dig some of his stuff. He got some really catchy melodies.
Yes,
and hooks.
he does.
I
Yes,
definitely
he does.
dig some
Yeah,
of
he
his
does.
stuff.
Yeah. I love this. I mean, I just think it's never gone away. So folks don't it doesn't never gone away. Just that some music goes to the forefront or rises up a little bit, becomes popular.
Absolutely.
And it's still there. You know, for all the Layla Hathaways and all those who are still putting out good stuff.
Come on.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, they're
Shout out to Layla.
Yeah, I love her. She's a great live performer too.
Indeed.
And Let Us See and all of them. They're all putting on stuff. And again, they're all good live. They're putting out new albums. But even some of the newer ones, like I love Jasmine Sullivan and I love those people like that who just are
Philly.
Yep.
Philly represented. Thank you very much. Philly is in the building. We love Jasmine.
Are you from Philadelphia? What's going on?
I don't know. Could be.
I'll give my uncle a shout. He's in Bethlehem. I'll give him a shout out.
All right, Bethlehem,
So,
PA. All right,
yes,
right on.
there,
right
so,
on.
But it's just that it's music. You know, again, I'll go to my Jill Scotts, of course, again, Philly and all that. But there's all this stuff that's just it's music that actually has a message in it.
Yep.
And it could be love, it could be sex, but in a way that's not
vulgar.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
I mean,
Teddy Pendergrass. I mean, he was
you
like,
don't have to be like. But I think that I heard something very interesting the other day that T.I. said in an interview, and it was true. He said that, you know, when you hear what these young artists are bringing, they're bringing this because it is a product of the environment that they are products of the environment that they come from.
Yeah.
So if you live in an environment where that's how it is expressed, then what else can you render? You understand? What else can you render? So again, we came from an era where people actually talked about those things and did them in very sexy ways, and it was actually for adults.
Yes.
You understand? It was not for children.
No, it wasn't.
So now we have this over-sexualized society and music industry that for about the last 20 years, if you weren't 12, you couldn't get signed.
Yes.
So then you have a 12-year-old standing up there in panties and a bra.
Oh, Brittany. You know, back in the early days.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Listen, I ain't calling no name.
I'm saying that loud.
I don't want nobody to run up on me because I don't play.
Yes, I'll say it. But I love her though.
No, I'm just saying, so we had to endure that.
Yeah, you did.
Like as artists. Yeah. So shout out to everybody that endured the 12-year-old century. Like everybody that, I mean, you know, that decade of 12-year-olds, like the people that are still around that didn't just give up, or just didn't leave the planet.
Yeah,
you know, the people that are here. Like shout out to everybody that's still doing what they do.
Why are you still in it?
Because it's like breathing.
Okay, I like that. Okay,
it's like breathing.
Yeah,
I don't know anything else. I knew from a child what I would be doing. Mm-hmm. I didn't know my journey, like my path would be what it is. You know. But I knew ever since I was a child what I would be doing.
And what was your first entry into the entertainment business?
I would say probably around 15.
Okay, 15. Okay.
About 15 years old in Philly.
Okay.
I started to get in like these national competitions and stuff, and started winning money and prizes and getting sent around to be in this competition and that and the other thing. I think I made the solid decision after I went to the Apollo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so when I went to the Apollo, I was like, if they boo me tonight, I'm definitely going to get that law degree.
Got it. Okay, you got it. Yes. Because really, okay, first off, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm sure you, this is Black Hollywood Live. If they boo you, the audiences really dictate who becomes a star there.
That's right.
And the booing thing is very famous.
Real.
It's very real. So, okay, so you're getting ready for the Apollo. To walk it through us. You're getting ready for the Apollo.
Yeah, so I at that time, I mean, I had done a gang of performing, right?
Okay.
But I was like, I had a friend. I was in a dinner theater show in Philly, and the lighting engineer, the sound engineer, was also the sound engineer for the Apollo.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
So he said, gee, man, you know what? I mean, it's rough, but you should come see about the Apollo. I said, yo, I'm game. Let's do it. So one Wednesday, I drove up there with him, and I saw what I had never. And this was before they were televised.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it was way rougher than.
I'm sure.
Like they're really cute for the TV.
Okay,
back in the day, like they was really rough.
Ooh,
really
dang.
rough.
Okay.
So I was sitting in the
shitless,
yes, I was sitting. No, well, actually, no, because I said, listen, this is it.
Okay.
Like if they either gonna boo me, or they're going to say, yo, go for it. You got this, right?
Okay.
So I was sitting in the sound booth with him, watching this whole thing go down, the craziest stuff I'd ever seen. He said, so what you think? He said the same thing. He looked at me and he said, are you scared? I was like, nah, man, where the application at?
Okay.
And so they gave me the paperwork, filled it out, boom. 1 week later, I'm up there auditioning.
Okay.
And then they're like, you're on Wednesday. So I auditioned on a Monday. They put me right up.
Oh my God.
On a Wednesday.
Okay.
And this is so magical. I'm glad we kind of went here. So I went up on that Wednesday. It was pouring down rain.
Okay.
And we got to the Apollo Theater, and on the side street where you go into the stage door, there were all these trucks, video trucks. There was all these 18-wheelers over there. I said, somebody's filming, right? And we get in the theater. They said, please be quiet. We ran over schedule, but you guys go sit in the back and be quiet. We went and sat in the back. It was Whitney Houston.
Oh.
And the late Whitney Houston. And she was filming the video, The Greatest Love of All.
Oh, she said, yes, okay, yes.
And so we were sitting in the back, and then they started playing that music. The greatest love. And then her and the little girl were walking.
Yeah.
Out. They shot that about 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So I dashed to the backstage area.
Yes, I'm sure, yes.
Because I was like a mad Whitney Houston fan.
Okay.
Mad crush.
Okay.
Ran to the back of the stage and met her.
Oh, wow.
And got to meet her, and because I snuck back there.
Okay.
And so they had a fit. But
I'm sure.
They were like, she was like, he's okay. Like, leave him alone.
Yeah.
So we started talking, and I told her, like, I'm performing here tonight. She went in. She was like, oh, my God. Like, for real. Like, she was so excited. She turned into a kid. And that's when I was this close to her. Like, I'm like talking to you.
Yeah.
That I realized she was like me. Like, we were the same age. Like, I was like, my
really,
God. Because I thought, like, looking at the camera, the wigs, the gowns, and all that stuff, I thought Whitney Houston was some woman.
Oh, she was a kid.
And she was a kid.
Yeah,
When I was up
good.
close, I said, she just got on a bunch of makeup and wigs.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, that was my night. And that was the night that it all got settled.
So you go on stage.
So I go on stage. All right, I'm actually contestant number 7.
Okay.
They booed the first 5 right off.
Do they? Oh my God.
Right off.
Were they singers or something?
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
Yeah. Wasn't nothing but
And so
singers on it.
you're still not really nervous. Just like, okay, the 5 got off.
Well, here's the thing. I'm in my dressing room, and they knocked on my door so fast to say, Mr. G, you're up next.
Oh my God.
So I was like,
You're like, okay, I just got
quick,
here.
right?
Yeah.
So I told the musical director, I said, look here, you start that introduction, I said, by the time I hit center stage, I'm going to be singing, okay? So you
Okay.
start that introduction.
Okay.
Because I had observed the game when I was
okay.
when I came to see it. You
Okay.
cannot linger. You got to hit it.
And just get out there. And
You
just,
got to get
okay.
it. Don't have no 20-minute introduction. Because they're going to be like, yo, we don't like them shoes. Boo.
Okay,
Yo, that
yeah.
suit is whack, right? No, I saw the game. I was like,
Yeah.
guess what? You got to hit it. It worked like magic.
Wow.
They said, ladies and gentlemen from Philly, Robert G, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because they give it to you off the top.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
So everybody's going in.
Okay.
When I hit my mark, I started, everything must change. That's what I sang. And the rest is
It
history.
changed.
And
Everything changed.
So that settled the whole thing for me. I was like, well,
Okay.
this is it.
Well, now did you think? I mean, okay, so you later on hooked up with Loose Ends, and we'll get to that in a
Yeah,
second.
yeah.
But did you were thinking at that point, I just want a long solo career, or did you thinking I want to be a session person, or you want to be part of it? What did you think at the time?
You know what? Let me tell you something, James. As an African American performer, you really can't say I just want to do.
Yeah, good point.
That's not possible.
Interesting. Okay.
Now it just so happened that I had all these broad experiences in theater, in the nightclubs, in classical music. I was classically trained and was in Opera Ebony.
Oh wow. Okay.
In Philadelphia.
Okay.
And so I had this broad palette of things that I was able to do. And then all that work happened. There was no one thing that I was. It was never a one thing. Never.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
never one thing.
Yeah.
So no, all I wanted to do was be successful and then do the thing that I love the most.
Yeah.
You know, and I saw that like I was telling someone the other day, I was one of the kids that looked at Michael Jackson and said, "That is so cool. How do you do that?" Right?
Okay.
So I was not enamored with him as this, like, oh my God, he's so brilliant, because all of us were brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
All of us.
Yeah,
us. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't. In my neighborhood, I'd be hard pressed to find a child that couldn't sing and dance,
oh, got it. Okay, got it.
and I
Yes.
mean really
Yeah,
sing
yeah,
and really
yeah,
dance.
yeah.
So I wanted to know how to get there. You know,
Got it.
and that's
Yeah.
what was interested me as a young performer.
Yeah.
But then as you fast forward into life and as you get to grow and mature and develop, you understand that this is so much more than
Yeah, it
music. It's so much more than who's up front. It's so much more. And I'm grateful to be here, to be alive and strong and still willing
Yeah.
and still unafraid. Not afraid of it at all.
Well, you're good. Okay, you're good.
Yeah.
We're going to show a clip of when he was on here last time. He was part of a clip. They sang a song to me on here. We're going to show it. And we were still be laughing at first, but
Yeah.
we had a lot of laughs on our show, too. It was a full house. Let's go ahead and show part of it. Love Jane.
My
love
family.
Jane. Love Jane. Love all you guys. Professional. Come on. She's good.
I've been waiting while you've been living. How do I get through you? My body's shaking, anticipating, trying to figure your next move.
Baby, I feel
There you
it too. Ooh, what am I supposed to do?
Hey, hey.
And I can't slow down, no. Or keep my feet on shaky ground. Ooh.
Slow down, 'cause I can't take the heat. Slow down, slow down, baby.
That's my family.
Slow
I know. I love it. I love all you guys.
'Cause I can't take the heat. Slow down. I wanna know, hey, if this is the part, take my heart to wipe your feet. Oh, is this the part?
I just want to show that. It's we had so much fun. You watch the episode here. It's on Black Hollywood Live. Bringing to you with Loose Ends. It's such a great episode. Jane is just the bomb. I love her to death.
That's my lady.
But I
Shout
wanted
out to Jane.
But I wanted to show that because you had a major part in that song. All the ladies. I'm gonna have Gwendolyn. I'm gonna have everybody on the show at some point. Everybody's gonna come on the show. I told you you're first. I'm gonna have them on next.
Thank
But
you.
you guys were all so good. It sounds so good live.
You know, the first time I ever met Jane Eugene, the serendipity of my life, that's another thing that's really interesting. I met in Philadelphia many, many years ago. I'm on my lunch hour at my first little job. downtown Philly.
Okay.
And I'm on my lunch hour walking down the street, beautiful summer day. And who's walking towards me on Chestnut Street? Loose Ends,
That's weird.
right? All three of them.
That's
And they were there
weird.
recording and living there while they were recording. As she tells me, she said, "Oh my God, we lived right up the street in Rittenhouse Square. We were just
God.
blocks from where they stayed." And I was just on my lunch hour, and I looked up. Here come all three of them,
Wow.
and we all just said, "Hey!" And it was one of these moments where the camera went click. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like that. And then
Yeah.
fast forward, I'm in a restaurant with my dear departed sister Vesta Williams,
Oh, Vesta.
and
oh, my God.
I sang with her for 15 years.
Loved her so much.
And so we were in a restaurant, and who comes over is like, "Oh my God, it's Jane Eugene again." So our lives have been like passing, like
Yeah.
it's been foreshadowed. This time that we're spending
Yeah.
and this time that we're sharing has been foreshadowed for many years. I'm glad that it happened.
Well, so let's talk about that just briefly. How did she
Yeah.
actually come in the group?
I'm sorry.
How'd you get into the group? I mean, you're running into her all the time down the street at restaurants, but we don't all get in the group.
Let me see.
Established group.
You know what? Let me see. How did I get that call?
Yeah, it's like,
I forget what was going on. There was a gig going on. I went to see them. First of all, I went to see them. Wei Lin was in the group. I knew Wei Lin and Craig T. Craig T. Cooper, who was just playing in that clip,
Yeah.
was also played for Vesta.
oh, okay.
So I knew them from being around.
Yeah.
And so I think it was Wei Lin that invited me to one of their gigs. And then Jane and I, of course, established our connection. But then I just got called for, a gig where somebody couldn't make it. And then,
okay.
it just that particular relationship blossomed from there.
So you were in their orbit. So it kind
Absolutely.
of that kind of helped
Absolutely.
along. So you were in their orbit. So it's
Absolutely.
like the phone calls came around and like,
Absolutely.
okay, let's get him.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. To me, that's half the battle is getting people's orbits where they kind of just peripherally know who you are. Like, oh, I know this person. This person sings. This person plays guitar. This person is a host.
And
We
it's
know who
paying
they are.
attention too.
Yeah.
It's paying attention because I think that that's how it is in life. I think that a lot of things in our life is foreshadowed, are foreshadowed. I think that a lot of things are foreshadowed. And are you paying attention?
There's no coincidence either. I say
Not
there's
at
no
all.
coincidence.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at
There's
all.
none. It's funny. Just on a side note, the other day, a childhood friend from my second grade.
Wow.
I'm old. My second grade found me on Facebook because she went to school with my best friend from high school.
Wow.
We didn't go to school together, so I just go.
Okay.
Me and her went to school. He and I, 15 years later, he and I went to school. They met in Kansas at a college. My name came up.
Wow.
She was like, "Oh my!" She got Brian. I'm like, "Oh my God!" And then she decided to look at some names, and she saw my name on. And I was like, "What a weird." There's no coincidence then.
Look at that.
She was a really good friend in elementary school, and actually I missed her. She's like, "I miss your mom," and it's like. There's no coincidence. This thing
None.
is just kind of
None.
the world works where just how it works. The universe and God,
That's right.
whatever you
That's
believe
right.
in, it works the way it works.
That's right. That's right.
Your destiny is coming to you. I
That's
guess,
right.
in
Exactly.
ways.
Well, I love this. There's a saying that says, "What you seek is seeking you."
I like that. Yes.
Yeah, and it's the truth.
Yes.
It is the truth. If you're paying attention, what you're seeking is seeking you.
So we did this new song, "All I Ever Wanted," which is a great song. When you decided to put out a new single, you're like, did you just feel inspiration, and then you go into the studio and put something
Absolutely.
out?
I can't write any other way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not one of those people that just writes.
Oh, okay.
You understand? I express myself, pardon me, but in terms of I'm sitting down with the intention of writing a song, I must be moved.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So for me, between the time of my first release,
yeah.
one of the major events that happened right after I released my CD was my mother passed.
Oh, okay.
And so that put me out. That put me
I'm
flat
sure.
on my back.
Sure.
And so years went by before I picked up the pen and pad again.
Okay.
But the day that it was supposed to happen,
Yeah, it happened.
it was like a picture that tipped over, like the water was running then.
wow.
You understand?
Like that, yeah.
So it was not provoked by something.
Yeah.
It was just like I got up,
Yeah.
I went to my drawer,
Wow.
I got the notepad that I write in,
Oh, how funny.
and got the pencil, and I had something to say.
Yeah.
My soul was ready to speak on that.
I like that.
You know what I mean? That's what soul music is. Soul music is soul music from the soul. It is not a way to sing. It's not a riff. You know, that's the way they want to tell it, because
Right.
if you're not in touch with your inner self, and what that voice is saying, then you'll think it's out here. You'll think soul music it's a riff.
Yeah.
You know, it's the way you do this or do.
Yes.
It's none of that.
Yeah.
It's none. That's actually kind of funny.
Right.
But soul music, you know it because it's the only music that moves you.
Well, you know, it's so funny. Like, people make fun of, they make a little fun of Jill Scott sometimes because she'll talk about collard greens and how good they taste and everything. I'm like, but I totally relate to it. When she sings it, obviously that's why she's a hit, obviously, more than I just relate to it. We relate to it. She's like, she's talking about her man doing this and man. It's like, yeah, she's actually describing a day in the life of many of us.
Regular stuff.
Right.
Like regular. It's regular.
Right.
Like, and food is a big part of sensuality too.
Yes.
Because she speaks of it in a way like it's usually we're waking up from a night of passion.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
you know, and I got up and made those biscuits and
Yes.
grits and
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? So all that's real. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? And so that's how she's relating, and everybody can relate to
Yeah,
that.
totally.
You know what I mean? Whether it's a comfort food or whether it is sensuality or whatever it may be, food is major and it's a part of our
food.
life. I love food too, foodies.
Okay, I'm like, I love me some food. Jesus Christ. I had some good shrimp and grits the other day at a place called The
man.
Starving Actor in downtown LA. Just
Word?
wanted to shout out.
Okay.
It was really good. It was like the right amount of grits, the right amount of shrimp, and
Right
I just
on.
was like,
Right
I
on.
cried a little, I think. of happiness. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Oh my God.
That's good. That's good stuff.
I love food. Let me start. I grew up in a family that they cooked, and that was part of the culture, obviously. My father's side is Creole, so everything was centered around
Oh,
food.
wow. That's right. Well, you know what? I think that is something that is inherent in our culture.
Yeah.
Gathering in the kitchen. We joke all the time at my house because we can start in the living room.
Oh, yes.
But
I know those.
inevitably in that night, we wind up in the kitchen.
That's true.
That's just, how it is. So and the best time in the kitchen, just
Yes.
crowded and talking
Oh, yeah.
and everybody reaching and pouring and eating. I mean, that's what's up.
I live with my brother, and we have separate lives. Trust me. He has the front half of the house and the back half of the house. Where do we talk most of the time? In the kitchen. In the kitchen.
We call it table talk.
That's
at my
right. I
house.
love it. I'm like, we usually somehow we're both there making food, or somehow we're in the kitchen at the same time.
Absolutely.
Don't even know how. Our schedules are completely different, but it happens several times a week.
Yeah.
And we end up meeting in the
That's good
kitchen, and we'll
stuff.
have these good talks, and just love it. Lisa Howard. Hi there, James and G. Love your music. Keep up the good work.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa Howard.
Thank you, Lisa
Thank you.
Howard. Lisa is the bomb. She's always supportive, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Facebook family that's out there. Craig T. Cooper, I see you.
Craig's in there.
Claudette in Philadelphia, what's up, sis? I love you. Rossi Reed, I see you. And it keeps cutting off, as you guys could see. It kept cutting off, but I love you. I see you out there. Thank you, Facebook family, for
Talk
supporting.
about the fans a little bit. Tell me about them. Tell me how much you love them, what they mean to you.
Let me tell you something. People don't have to support anything.
That's very true.
Right?
That's right.
But when they choose to step up and say, you know what, I'm gonna buy your music, I'm gonna come to your show, and when I get to your show, I'm gonna buy your CD. I sell a lot of product at live shows. And so I appreciate people again, it gets back to this is hard-earned money. This is people going to work every day, entrepreneurs doing what they do. Bringing their money and saying, I'm going to honor your craft and give you, pay you for your art. Listen, I love my fan base nationally and internationally. They have shown me, keep doing what you're doing, And so that's why I love my fans. I love them beyond words. I'm lost for words because of their expression of love and their kindness. People don't have to buy your music.
You don't.
They don't have to be kind. They don't have to, I tell people all the time, until you make music and put it out into the world, and then a stranger has to pick up a pen and review it. A stranger, a complete stranger. And they say something real and something kind about something sustenance, substantial about your music. Man, there's no feeling like that. Yeah. And you don't know them from Adam. All their job is, I'm a reviewer.
Right.
So I love my fans, man. They mean the world to me because as a seasoned performer, and as I said earlier, shout out to all of us that just hung in here.
Oh my God, yes.
And are doing it. Those are some of us had the machine, some of us did not.
Yeah.
You understand? Sure. And those of us that did not, that are still grinding, still enjoying, still giving good music, still doing great live shows, shout out and respect to everybody that's still doing it. When people do show us love, we can't do anything but say thank you. It's gratitude. I'm in a constant state of gratitude when it comes to my music and life in general, but we're talking about this music.
Yeah.
I am in a constant state of gratitude because I'm thankful for people showing their love in a tangible way, not just blah, blah, blah. But listen, this is what I do for a living.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so if you don't show up, I have to close shop.
That's very true.
You understand?
That's true.
So I need you to
Seriously,
show up.
yeah,
So that's why I respect the fans, and that's why I do my best when I'm sitting down to write. That's why I have to be moved to write. I am not sitting down to write some junk for you to spend your hard-earned money on.
Right. Just put stuff out to put stuff out.
No, I'm putting stuff out, number one, with intention. But then I want you to say, man, that was the best $10 I ever spent.
Right.
That was the best $20 I ever spent. I want you to say that, like, every time you put that CD on, I want you to grin and say, I am so glad I bought it. So that's what my intention is. My intention is always to bring something to you that you will say it was a worthy spend.
I always ask my guests the same two questions.
Okay.
I never prep them, as you guys at home know. I never prep them because I want their honest answers, their current answers.
Okay.
I'm all about language.
Yes.
Obviously, you're a writer and everything, so you know about language. I want to ask you, what is one word that you think we should not say ever again in our English language?
What word we should not say?
Yes, you guys. One word we should take out of our English our vocabulary.
We should definitely take out can't.
Like that.
Yeah, we
Like
should
that.
definitely take out can't.
Can't always stops us immediately.
In our tracks. And definitely, if we could take a word and just erase it from the minds of the masses, it would be the N-word.
Yeah, I heard that. I totally agree with that. I've never used it for my friends, I don't use that word.
Yeah, and I have. No shade.
Yeah.
I have. You know what I mean? As I have evolved mentally and spiritually, because I have many words to choose from.
Oh, that's what we do.
But as I have evolved mentally and spiritually, on a conscious level, I understand the repercussions of that word and the root of that word. Where when I was not, I did not understand it. And I would say whatever I felt like saying.
Of course.
You understand?
Yeah.
But when I was in that space, I operated like that. And now I'm in a different space. So I almost never say it.
Okay.
You understand? But when you've said it for 40 years,
then
you understand?
Yeah.
It just may come out.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? And even in a joking manner.
Yeah.
It just might be, when you with your, it just might, you understand? But
I get it. No, I
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then, when you understand that, listen, we have some critical issues going on in this country. My heart is heavy today. I'm having
Mine
a great
too.
time.
Me too.
You understand? But I'm a black man sitting here.
Me too.
Very, very grieved.
Me too.
Right now,
Me too.
this was a very hard day. I had to push through the gym, push
me
through,
too. I understand.
push, and then get here and do this.
Yes.
This is what I mean by humanity.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not in a bubble.
No.
There's something terrible that's happened in our country again.
Yeah, again.
Again. And as a black man sitting here thinking, oh man, it just, your mentality, when you have to think about that and then watch nothing happen.
I know.
Or watch them wait for what did somebody say today? We're waiting for the full story. Right?
know.
As if the full story is going to change the fact that there was an unarmed man gunned down.
On camera, on video.
So I'm saying, so that's,
I know what you mean.
I don't, man. So and these are the things that make me alter my speech and alter my intention. You know what I mean? Because we are in a critical place, and I want to be able to impart something to these young G's and let them know, here is why you should abandon that word. Here is why, because it abandoned you 450 years ago. You should abandon that word. You understand? But why? I want to be able to share with them, here's why you should do it. And so I've been working on me, you understand? And that word in this mouth.
It's I'm glad you brought it up, because I'm a black man too, obviously, and I've also been put over by police, and I've had my own issues. That's another story. The show's almost ending, so that's another story. But my heart is heavy today also, especially as black men. And
Absolutely.
I've been seeing some wonderful black women out there who have been actually expressing that about their black men. And like I said, I interviewed a guy earlier today who was 13 years old, and he got it. He gets it. He's 13 years old, and he gets it.
And I'm glad that you had women. And I want to say this too, because I know a lot of my sisters are watching. A lot of y'all powerful, beautiful, elegant, intelligent queens are watching. Have you told a black man today? I don't care if it's your nephew, your son, your husband, your lover. I don't care who it is, your brother, your uncle, your father. Have you told him, I love you? And I love you. Hear me? I don't care what this world is saying to you. I love you. Have you told anybody that today?
I like that.
Because guess what? One person, I've only seen one person in the social media sphere today. One lady that did that. One.
The one who did it for me was my cousin Maya, who you know. Maya Lott.
Yeah.
She knows you. And she did that earlier too. So I just
Absolutely.
want to add something. Now the last, and that's beautiful actually, I like that. The last thing is, what word do you think we should say more of?
Well, it's a phrase. It's just I love you.
Yeah. It's very underrated in some ways. And sometimes not given the same kind of respect of like, it's a powerful thing to tell somebody you love them. I mean, because I grew up in a time where a lot of us were latchkey kids and parents were leaving and single family homes. And you never heard the word I love you from a parent or an aunt or an uncle or a cousin. And that really does damage a person.
You know, I was in my family as a teenager and growing into a young man. As I became more spiritually aware, more conscious of that and what the power of love is, I began to myself say it even if I didn't hear it. And I watched that soften and change people and then before I knew it, they were saying it before I said it. You see? So what we have to do is don't wait.
Right.
Don't wait. Tell somebody you love them without expecting them to say, I love you, because you don't know how, might not know how to form the language, don't want to feel vulnerable in that moment. But if you keep telling them, I love you, like one day they're going to say it to you before you get it out. I'm a witness. That's the truth. And you watch it just shape them and mold them and soften them and know that they're safe with you to say I love you, and you're not going to abuse and use and misuse them or misuse that privilege of using that word with me. You feel me? So say it and watch it change the atmosphere and change the people in the room.
And I also feel you should say it. I think men should be able to say it to each other.
Oh my God, yes.
I say it to my best friend all the time. I just lost a brother 3 weeks ago, so I say it to him all the time.
Wow.
And so,
I'm
it's been very painful for me these last 3 weeks.
Last August for me.
So you know how it is.
Yep.
And so, but we always say it to each other.
Yep.
So I'm saying that men were not taught how to be emotional
I'm very sorry
or
to hear
vulnerable. That it's one of those things that we should be saying. You say it for women, but men should be saying it to each other also. Say it to your friends. Say it to your cousins. Say it to your, I love you, man.
Absolutely.
However word you want to say it, but it's like you should say it because men need to hear it too. We need to really hear it.
Absolutely. And when you talk about softening up and getting them to feel safe, black men don't feel safe.
No, we don't.
So, and this is a remnant of slavery.
Right.
You understand? This is a remnant of slavery where they couldn't show love to their wife and children because they would sell them away. And we don't even know that if your great-grandfather was carrying that, your grandfather carried it, and your father carried it, right? This here trauma is in our bodies and in our energy, right? That we're just carrying this like we
I agree.
don't tell each other that because of that. And we don't reach back and say, but that was wrong.
Right.
That was incorrect. That whole slavery move was like the most low down, dirty trick ever, right? But we're carrying the trauma of that in us.
I agree with you.
Right?
We're a young country too still, so it's still fresh.
Oh my God. Like, come on, man.
You and I were both born in the civil rights movement. So
exactly.
That wasn't that long ago. I mean, it wasn't that long ago.
We're talking about 50 years ago to get rights to do what?
To do this.
To be?
To do this. I mean, for me
the
doing
right
this.
To be, like, for real? So we have to understand that what is the root of that? What is the root of us being afraid to say, brother, I love you, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to lose a brother.
Same here.
And I remember because he lived in Florida and I lived here. And every time we talked, before we got off that phone, we was both beating each other to, I love you, man. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I remember he passed away of cancer.
Okay.
And I remember the night before he passed, I was talking to him in the hospital. And he said, man, if this doesn't work, this procedure in the morning, it's not going to happen for me. Yeah. And all I could say repeatedly was, I love you. 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 Repeatedly. I couldn't, there was nothing left to say.
Yeah, nothing to say.
There was nothing left to
get
say.
it.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
So at that point and at this point, love is what you need to say. Love is the answer.
We're gonna end on that. That to me that's a good ending.
It's the answer.
Now I'm gonna make sure I tell me I love you.
I love you, man. Thank you, Brother James, for having me.
Thanks for being on the show.
I love you.
Yes.
Listen, guys, I am Robert G
Yes.
on Twitter. I am Robert G on Instagram. And drop by my new refreshed RobertG.com. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Refreshed.
It's a reboot. RobertG.com.
Very good.
On Facebook, Robert G's Music. I love you guys. Thank you very much for the love, for the support of the new single, All I Ever Wanted. I shot the video on Friday.
Oh, good. Okay, make sure you tag me in it so I can
No,
post it.
absolutely.
Okay.
And listen, you know what, James? When the actual EP drops in November,
Yes.
I would love to come back.
Okay.
And that's
done.
when I'd love to do an acoustic performance.
Done.
Because the
Done.
EP, I'm going to make sure you have that and the video
Perfect.
drop. You're going to absolutely have
Done.
it.
Already done.
Thank you,
Go
man.
You talk to me, so we're done. Yeah, I'm in charge, so we got
man.
it. And you can watch Breaking Into on BlackHollywoodLive.com. We're on iTunes. We're on YouTube. Go ahead and find Breaking Into on there.
Yeah.
Facebook page is Breaking Into. And
Yeah.
you can, please like it and follow. And I post all these episodes on there too. And more about the artists are on those pages also.
Yes.
So go ahead and tell your friends, like it. I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow me all over the interwebs
Yes.
at James Lott Jr. I mean, I'm everywhere too. Trust me. I'm out there. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Yes.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.